Okay, welcome to part two. So I talked too long on part one. So now we're going part two. Let me get going live on LinkedIn again. Hey, everybody. Okay, so I only have 15-minute increments here. This is what I'm learning. I've never done lives on LinkedIn before. So many learnings happening right now. So in part one, we talked about specifically what needs to happen as you go through the process of navigating getting your dream job. Okay, so let me make sure I am live. It is looking like we are good to go. Okay. Hello, everybody again. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to part two of what needs to happen to get your dream job. Okay, so let's keep rolling at this. So part one, we talked about the 3 steps that you're going to have to navigate. Part two, we are going to be talking about what specifically needs to happen in terms of the mindset rooted in confidence to get your dream job. So there's something that I want to teach you about, and this is really creating belief in possibility and inevitability in an even deeper and more meaningful way. This is very intentional. So this is mindset work at its finest. So if you've never done this before, make space for this to feel a little bit new. It might feel awkward. You might be like, oh God, I don't know what I'm doing. That's okay. This is what happens anytime we do something new. So I want you to be okay being a beginner. I was at this point at one point in my life too. So just know it's not just you. It's okay. We all go through this when we are doing this for the first time. Okay. So here's what I want to teach you how to do specifically is get into what is called done energy. So when you are in done energy, this is when it is so inevitable. You can feel it in your bones. Like, have you ever talked to somebody who's doing something so big, so crazy, and they're like, oh, yeah, it's already done. And you're just like, how do they believe this much in what they're doing? This is so crazy, right? That is the epitome of done energy. So when you are in a place of done energy, you've done the work to arrive at your destination. You already see yourself as there. This is your reality. This has already happened. And that is the way that you are just thinking about what it is that you want to do, which is, getting your dream job in this circumstance. So when you truly believe that something is just done, you're going to show up in a completely different way, right? You're not going to be entertaining the doubt. You're not going to be, subscribing to all these different fears. When you're in done energy, you are in a place where you don't need to do anything more to make it happen for yourself because you're already just showing up as the woman to where it's done, right? So you're going to not be taking this frantic energy. You're not going to be trying to rush things. You're not going to be believing that you're behind or you need to take 1,000 other actions to make it happen, because this is just the energy that once again is going to attract the exact opportunity that is meant for you straight to your doorstep without you having to do anything more to go out and create it, right? I like to think of this as effortless energy. When we're in that place of effortless energy, we're just like, yeah, this is happening. And it's a totally different way of navigating the world. And this might be so counterintuitive for your brain because we're taught take more action, take more actions, but it really is about being the person and showing up as the person every single day in the world that already has what she wants. And that energy, you're not going to need to do as much because once again, it's just going to attract naturally for you. So when you have laid down the belief that what you want is just happening, it's already done, you're in the mindset of being the woman that already has it, you're going to attract with ease, right? Is this making sense? So when you're in that done energy and you're believing that what you want is just inevitable, you're not going to be worried about, oh my God, how is this going to happen? When is this going to happen? And then you're just going to be taking action from a different level of belief, a different level of confidence in yourself. And when you embody this energy, it's truly like releasing the pressure valve of trying to make things happen, trying to fit, the round peg in the square hole, where you just feel like, it's like you're constantly swimming upriver and everything's really hard. That's where all this resistance ends. So when you are in this energy, you're not going to rush things. You're not going to be seeking shortcuts or looking for the easy way. And if you want to learn more about this, please go back and listen to my podcast. I went really deep into this. Like I spent a half an hour on this specific topic alone in the podcast that I released on Monday. It's called it's basically my secret formula to get anything you want in your life, both personally and professionally. And I'm teaching you exactly how to get into done energy. So let's play for a second with this. But if you really want to learn this on a deeper level, definitely go back and listen to that podcast because there's going to be a ton there for you. People are literally like, oh my God, this broke my brain just trying to understand this because it is so valuable. Once you learn how to do this, literally just makes getting what you want inevitable every single time once you start thinking this way. Okay, so I want to introduce you to this way of thinking. So let's play with this. I think that this is so fun. This is one of my personal favorite ways to spend my time. I know that probably sounds crazy, but this is why I get everything that I want. This is why I've gotten every single job I've ever dreamed of, except for my job and my dream job at Starbucks when I think I was 16, because I was on an interview where they wanted me to sell them what at the time was a coffee press. I'd never seen that before. I came from a small town. We didn't have coffee shops there. I didn't know what a coffee press was. So I pretended it was a pasta maker. I didn't get the job. Okay, so that's the only job I've never gotten. But if I would have known this formula, I would have known how to do this. Okay, so let's play with this. I want you to picture yourself for a second getting your dream job. So whatever that role is, I don't care if it's the CEO of Microsoft, whatever that job is, don't let your brain tell you that it's too crazy. Because once again, that's living in impossibility. We don't want to spend any time there. So what is your dream job right now? Picture seeing that post on LinkedIn. Picture just scrolling and then all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, my dream job, right? Because this is what happened to me with Estee Lauder. My dream job was literally available. I was like, holy crap, right? So now I want you to picture what brand this is working for. What title is this job offering? Is it C-suite? Is it managerial? Is it a director level? What is the level of this job that you truly desire, right? So really spend a second just thinking about what is the brand? What is the company? Maybe it's for yourself, right? Maybe you want to be the CEO like I am of your own company. That's totally cool too. Whatever it is that your dream job is. So I want you to imagine what it would feel like actually working for this company. And once again, if that's working for yourself, that's perfect too. And really just sink into for a second, just let yourself play with it, let yourself dream about it. Even if your brain's like, okay, this is stupid, that's okay. Let your brain say it's stupid. Because when you get your job, you're not going to think this is stupid anymore, right? And I want you to picture how wearing this job title makes you feel. Notice if you picture yourself standing taller, if you're taking up more space, if you're just feeling super confident, if you're feeling so proud of yourself, just notice how this makes you feel if this job was yours. Okay, so now that we've kind of just sat into that energy for a second, I want to get really practical with some actions. I want you to picture writing your resume right now for this specific role. What is your resume going to say? What is your cover letter going to say if you decide to write a cover letter? And I want you to picture yourself actually seeking out whoever it is that's hiring for this role. So whether it's a hiring manager, if it is the CEO of the company that you'd be meeting with, and I want you to picture yourself researching them and learning more about them and picturing what it would actually look like to work for this person and to have an interview with them. Do they intimidate you? Or is it just like, oh my God, I'd be so excited to share airspace with this person? So just notice that, right? And then I want you to picture yourself getting resourceful, combing through LinkedIn, thinking of your network, all the people that you've worked with throughout the years, thinking about, does anybody know this person who's hiring for this role? Does anybody have any connections at this company who I could talk to learn about how I could be the best fit or what this role actually desires or what the company culture's like or what this person's like as a leader to make sure I even want that? So just picture yourself connecting with people, having those conversations. And then I want you to picture after you've done this research, after you've reached out to this network, sitting down, knowing the value that you bring to the table and writing this person a personal letter. This is going to go directly to them. And I will tell you, if you think to yourself right now, oh God, they're probably getting so many letters a day from people. I was in an executive position for years and never once did I get a letter from a candidate who wanted this job. And I thought going into these roles, oh, people are going to be messaging me all the time. I'm going to be so annoyed with how many people are reaching out to me for the jobs. That's never happened. So literally these people are not, getting these rapid fire things as much as you think they are. So you'd be surprised how many times when those emails come or those letters come, they're like, wow, they took the time to reach out to me. That's going to mean something. Now I want you to picture sending this letter off, feeling that buzz of excitement, like, oh my God, I just did that. I'm crazy. I cannot believe I just did that. And just thinking about, oh, that took so much courage to actually go off after the opportunity that I really am dreaming of. Who am I? Whoa, I just did that, right? And just sitting with that buzz and that rush of excitement. And then I want you to picture the next day, opening your email and seeing a response asking for you to come in next Thursday for an interview at 3:00. So maybe they want you to meet on Zoom. Maybe they want you to actually come into person. And I want you to picture yourself freaking out like, holy crap, this is happening. You're going into your closet. You're picking out what you're going to wear. You're thinking about how you want to present yourself. You're thinking about the questions that you want to ask during the interview. And then I want to fast forward to it being 2:30 on Tuesday. You're about to go into this interview. I want you to picture yourself reading a letter that you wrote to yourself. Maybe it's a letter, maybe it's just you wrote down a list of all the value that you bring to your table and pumping yourself up before you go into this interview, just knowing, oh my God, I am the catch. I am the secret weapon. I'm going to be what takes this company to the next level and building that level of certainty and belief in yourself. Because once again, when you have that, it becomes inevitable, right? So I want you to picture it's 2:30. You're having this relationship with yourself. Maybe you start to freak out and you're doing some deep breathing to ground yourself. Maybe you're just picturing, oh my God, this is going to be amazing. I'm going to slay this. I can't wait to have this job. I can't wait for this to be my reality. Get yourself into that headspace before you actually click onto the Zoom link or before you walk into the building. Now, I want you to picture or saying to yourself, no matter how this goes, I've got this. I will grow from this. I will be stronger because of this. I'm only going to become more valuable because of this. I will be better because of this. I'm proud of myself for being willing to put myself in this uncomfortable situation where I'm being stretched, and I'm going to get this, right? Just sell yourself on the fact that no matter how this goes, it's not going to be a fail, right? And I want you to then picture yourself going into into the office or clicking onto the Zoom link. And I want you to picture it going incredible. I want you to picture it feeling easy, to where it's the most natural conversation you've ever had in your life, to where it's like, oh my God, talking to this person, it just feels like I'm home. Having it be that feeling of complete comfort, complete security. And I want you to picture then hanging up, getting off of this interview, just knowing I slayed that shit. There's nothing more that I could have done. There's nothing else I could have said differently. And then you just go to bed that night feeling so proud of yourself, feeling so secure, feeling like, oh my God, I don't even need to overthink this because I know I did enough, right? And then I want you to picture the next day going back to your email, and the first thing you see is the offer letter that just came through with everything that you wanted. And maybe there's a couple things that you know, okay, I want more here, right? And you picture yourself actually negotiating with confidence, not being afraid to let the opportunity go because you're so boldly willing to ask for exactly what you want, because you are the woman who always gets what she wants. Remember, don't forget that. And I want you to picture yourself having the offer letter come through with every single thing that you were looking for, all the paid time off, all the, sick time you were looking for, stock options. Maybe they have a clothing budget. Maybe they have a car budget. Whatever crazy things that you truly desire in your life is in that offer letter. And I want you to picture yourself screaming and dancing, being like, oh my God, I did it. Oh my God, I made this happen for myself because I am the woman who always gets what she wants. That's just who I am now, right? And I want you to picture yourself just celebrating with so much pride flowing through you because you did the work to get this. And you are celebrating so hard because you did this. Nobody else could do this for you. You did this for yourself. And now I want you to take yourself to the night before this opportunity begins. You've laid out your clothes, you've got everything ready, your car's gassed up if you're driving in, right? Now picture yourself walking in to your first day. You're saying hello to everybody, you're introducing yourself, you're thinking about all the incredible things that you're going to do in your time at this company. You have this thrill of landing your dream job and you're like, holy shit, I'm here, right? Like you literally did it. And I want you to picture yourself going to bed after that first night in this new role, thinking, I did this. This is mine. It's mine. I made this happen for myself because that's just what I do. I always get what I want. Okay. Do you see how specific that I got there? Do you see how I painted the whole entire vision from seeing the opportunity come, picturing applying for it, getting your resume ready, having the interview, actually getting the offer letter, going through, having your first job, really feeling grateful, like, oh my God, I actually did this, right? And seeing yourself the whole entire way through is just the woman who gets what she wants, who always gets what she wants, right? Do you see how specific I got there? That is done energy at its finest. So how did it feel to see it all the way through? Did that help you to build any sort of belief in possibility? Did that help you to see it as, oh my God, this could be inevitable, right? Because it all starts here. Because if you're just sitting here subscribing to impossibility, your dream job's never going to be yours, right? And I hate to tell you the bearer of bad news, but if you don't believe it, you can't see it, then you're not going to do it. So we've got to get you into this place where you just painted the possibility for yourself. And I want to go even deeper with you on this. Are you ready? You're like, oh my God, what are we going to do next? This is so fun, right? Okay. I want to make damn sure you get this job. So now you've seen it. Now you've experienced what it would be like to go through this process. You started really blasting through all of any sort of limiting beliefs that are keeping you from believing it's impossible or it's possible, right? So I want you to take this intentional aligned action, because this is truly where it all comes together, right? And I can't do this for you. You have to be the one that does this for yourself. This is the final step in getting your dream job. So in order to actually hold yourself accountable as the woman who always gets what she wants, I want you to think about the me that got the dream job does blank every day, and the me that, got the dream job didn't do these things every single day. So you can literally, I'm going to write this down on the whiteboard for you. So you can literally just get a piece of paper, and this is going to be an accountability tool that helps you make sure that you are showing up as the version of yourself who got the job, right? This is getting further into inevitability because now you're actually putting this into practice and holding yourself accountable. So does not. Super simple, right? And I love to use this with my clients as a major accountability tool, because this is always going to hold you accountable for every single action you take, every thought that you're thinking, because every single result you have in your life starts with how you think, right? So I want you to think about going through this list and really using this as an accountability checklist to make sure you are operating and taking action as the woman who already has what she wants. This is putting yourself in that done energy and helping you follow through with that. So when you visualize yourself at your dream job, going through this process, you were doing the things, right? You were laying your clothes out, you were writing down why you were valuable, you were building belief in your value, you were grounding yourself before your interview, right? These are all the things that you're going to write in your does list. So let's play this out, right? I'm going to give you some things that, like, if you were my client, this is how I would coach you to think, right? Or this is things that I've seen my clients do when they start thinking of themselves as the person who already got the job, right? So the you that got the job, she's writing down her value list to sell herself. So you're selling yourself on yourself with these, right? You're thinking about how you want to present yourself and the lasting impression that you want to make ahead of time. You're visualizing already having the job all the way through to going through your first day and knowing what it feels like to go to bed that night, having your dream job. You're taking time to build belief in your value, which will diminish any sort of doubt, silence your inner critic and any sort of temptation to settle for less, because you never settle for less than what you deserve. That's not who you are, right? You hold yourself with confidence as you walk into the room, because you know that you're a catch, you know that you're going to make their company better, and you know that you have extremely valuable experience to bring to the table. You're putting the extra effort in to research the role, get to know the leaders, whoever the hiring manager is, and that's going to help you feel prepared, which is going to help you feel more confident. The you that has the job, ask the hard questions. You're not shying away from asking for exactly what you want. You're making sure that you're sending a thank you letter to leave a genuine and lasting impression. And you know exactly what you want from the role. So that way, when the offer letter does come, you're not indulging in any sort of temptation to minimize yourself or feel like, oh, I'd be ungrateful for asking for that. Or, oh, I don't want people to think that, I'm too much for this, or I seem unappreciative, right? You're the woman who knows what she wants, and you always get what you want, and that's okay, right? So that's examples of what that you does every day. Borrow these actions, because when you start doing those things, it makes getting the job that you want inevitable, right? So now let's look at the opposite to make sure that you are holding yourself accountable to not do things that will get in your way of getting the job, right? So you're not feeding your doubt. You're not wasting time overthinking. You're not comparing yourself to other people who you think are doing better than you. You are not getting intimidated or feeling afraid to approach the hiring manager because you think that maybe they're too experienced, or they're going to ignore you, or that they would reject you right away. You're not going to spend any time thinking that you're not good enough for the role. You're not going to shy away from asking the hard questions in the interview. You're not going to hold yourself back from asking for exactly what you want. You're not going to feed any energy into the idea that you're going to get passed up for this role. You're not going to settle for less when the offer letter actually comes. You're going to not say that you're okay doing things that you don't want to do. I see a lot of people do that. And you're not going to worry about how or when it's going to happen, because you know it's happening, right? So notice how these two sides are completely different. When you hold yourself accountable for showing up as the woman who does not do these things, who does not stand in her way of her success, and you just do the things that are going to create success, guess what's going to happen? They're going to create success, right? This is inevitability at its finest. So hold yourself accountable of making it inevitable, right? Okay, so you can see how specific I got here. This is something I've walked hundreds of women through. This is an area where any single one of us can do this work once you actually know how to do it. So I don't want you to be in a place where you're like, oh my God, I don't know what to do next. Because here's the thing, is I have worked with hundreds of women on this as a coach. I've also hired hundreds of women in my corporate role before I started my coaching business, right? And every single time a woman walked into the interview, I could tell when she's done this work and when she hasn't. And I remember an assistant that I got, she was in her early 20s at the time. This girl walked in like she was $1 million. She felt like she was $1 million. She just exuded confidence and success. And I literally said the second she walked in, that is a future CEO. And now she is. I mentored her to help her become that. And she is. I want you to feel that way when you walk into a room, right? Because I can smell insecurity. I can see insecurity a mile away. And there are certain things when women don't know their value, they're not bringing it to the table. They're not selling themselves because they don't believe in themselves. They're like, oh God, I'm so grateful I got this interview. Don't screw this up. And they're putting so much pressure on themselves to land the job that they end up getting totally lost. This process eats them alive, and they don't end up showing up as their most confident self because they're so in their head. And guess what? They don't get their dream job. I don't want that to be you. I want you knowing exactly what value you bring to the table. I want you knowing exactly what you want. I want you knowing exactly how to get it, because you can, right? Any of us can learn this process. I just gave you the exact steps on how to do that. So I don't want you standing in your way for one more second of thinking that you don't know how to do it, because when you believe that you don't know how, you won't. You're always going to be looking for the how. You're going to be so consumed with the how that you're not actually going to be taking the actions needed to go out there and get the job that you want. So I want you to hold yourself accountable for living in the done energy and creating that belief in yourself, because this is the fastest way to get your dream job right here. It just gave you the steps, right? There's so much less drama in this way of doing. And when you are in this way of seeing things, the way of seeing yourself and just being in that done energy of, oh yeah, it's just inevitable, it's done, you're going to use so much less energy in the process. You're going to feel so much more confident about yourself in the process. And you're going to guarantee it is going to take so much less time, and it's going to feel so much less harder and less painful to get what you want, because you're just the woman who always gets what she wants, right? So spend your time feeding your belief versus feeding your dreams doubt, right? I don't want you spending any time with that, and staying in done energy by visualizing yourself already where you want to be, working at your dream job, because the you that believes that it's done, the you that already sees herself in that role, is going to get her role. Okay, is this making sense? Let me know if you have any questions. My inbox is always here for you. And if you are in this place where you're like, okay, I love what you said, but I don't know how to do this on my own, this is something that I teach women how to do when we work one-to-one together on a very deep level. So if you need that support, please reach out to me. I would love to show you exactly how to get there, to get you into the place where you get your dream role with ease, where you can see yourself. If even your dream role doesn't happen, you're on to the next. You're not losing any time worrying about like, oh my God, I failed. Oh my God, I got rejected. No, we don't make things mean negative things about ourselves. If you fail, no big deal. That's just feedback that informs your next best success. That's my perspective on failure. Rejection to me is protection, because I truly believe life would never close a door to an opportunity that was meant for you. So on to the next, right? Only bigger and better. That's how I look at things. And there's a very specific process that I teach inside my one-to-one program. It's called the CAN program. CAN stands for Confident Action Now, because that's what we do, right? So when we are working together, I teach you something called the DIVA formula. And it's not like, no, you're a diva like Beyonce. No, it stands for define, visualize, and action. So when you are defining what you want, you're visualizing yourself already having it, and you're taking the action to get it. Once again, just like what we talked about today, you're going to get there that much faster. So I want to help you get there faster. I don't want you wasting any time creating success, right? We're in Success Up September, so we are all about getting you to the next level as fast as humanly possible. So let's amplify your success at light speed. Doesn't that sound like so much fun? I'm just having so much fun in Success Up September. This might be my favorite month that I've ever done in my whole entire 4 years of business, just because why not, right? Like, why not have exactly what you want? And if I can help you get there, and I have the exact process to help you get there, like, let's do the damn thing. All right. I hope this has been helpful. Please let me know if you have any follow-up questions. We're going to be back later this week, and I'm going to be actually teaching you how to apply the DIVA formula. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to be here talking to you on Friday about that. And also make sure you go back to the podcast that I referenced. It's my secret formula to get whatever you want in life and business. And this has been it was like listened to almost 100 times within the first 10 minutes of release, which is crazy for me. You know, I don't have results where people are just like, oh my God, everybody's got to see this. People are sharing it on social media like wildfire. Go to this episode. It will literally take what we talked about today and go 100 layers deeper into this. So if you need that support now, that podcast, it's completely free. My podcast is called The Confidence Lounge, so you can find it on Apple, Spotify, wherever you love to listen to your podcasts. Make sure and listen to that, because there is a ton of value there for you. All right. Once again, thank you for listening. I'm so excited to have you in my world. I'm so excited to be teaching you all about things related to success. We're going to be doing so much more of this later as we go into this month, so stay tuned. So many more success tools are coming to you.